Welcome to Cage Chat. This is the weekly roundup and we are covering UFC London. Now what a main event we had. Jorge Masvidal in the second round knocks out Darren Till, who is ranked third in the welterweight division. Now this is massive for that division, the 170 pound, which we've got a new champion in. We've got Usman, we've got Colby, we've got Woodley, we've got Ben Askren now. Leon Edwards also got victory, which we'll be covering later on in this episode. But Jorge Masvidal shocked the world and shocked the O2 Arena when he knocked him out. Now he did get knocked down in the first round, and Darren Till was probably searching for the finish, and coming off the first round was probably disappointed to not get the finish. Now he has and is on a two-loss streak now inside the UFC, losing to Woodley, the former champ, and now Jorge Masvidal. So things are looking bad for the gorilla Darren Till. He did have a good first round, he won it in fact, but Masvidal threw some good hands and got the victory, which moved him up above Till, who is now 7th in the rankings after being 3rd going into this fight. What's next to Masvidal? Who knows? Maybe give him to Colby. Colby deserves a beating, whether it's from Usman, Ben Askren, any one of those guys. Give him to Colby and let him have his beating and throw him out the UFC. Now what happens to Darren Till? I think it's more than likely that he'll move up to the 185 pound division or go for that fight for Askren. I think that's the perfect fight to go for. Leon Edwards had been sort of branded himself for the winner for that main event at UFC London, so that should be Masvidal versus Leon Edwards, and that leaves Askren, who has been going back and forth with Till for the past month or two now, to fight 6th and 7th in the rankings. I think that fits for the UFC, and Darren Till does desperately need a win, both for British MMA and for himself and his welterweight career. If he loses 3 on the bounce, it's difficult for him. Ben Askren will validate himself in the welterweight division with a win over him, and it's a battle of striking versus wrestling. Now with how quickly Woodley took him down and got him to tap, Ben Askren is a whole nother level to that as well. Or it's 185 now. With some of the power Jorge threw, I think 185 could really test Darren Till's chin, and at least he's got an extra 15 pounds on that weight, maybe 20-25 come fight night, but he's really got a decision on his hands now. Can you really see him beating like Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero, Jacare Souza, Chris Weidman? Maybe Chris Weidman and Darren Till is a fight to make. They're both on losing streaks and they both need a big win. Maybe at MSG this year. Now moving on to the co-main event, it was Leon Edwards versus Gunnar Nelson. Now this for me was fight of the night. It was a brutal 3-round slobber knocker, as you'd almost call it, and the stoic as ever Gunnar Nelson came out as cool as you'd like, ready for war. That Viking blood that he seemed so calm in that octagon, and it didn't go well for him. He did lose the first 2 rounds. Well, he got unanimously beat. He did get a split decision victory, Leon Edwards, which did raise a couple of eyebrows, and most likely from the judge's perspective there was a couple of takedowns in the first and third round, I believe it was. They could potentially give that to sway towards Gunnar Nelson. Now Gunnar Nelson did break an orbital bone after a brilliant elbow in the second round. Now I thought the fight would have been stopped by the doctors, but Gunnar Nelson is an absolute warrior, and he went back out for that last 5 minutes and got a takedown, and he had some beautiful transitions, but it was too little too late for him, and unfortunately got the loss. Now Leon Edwards, by the looks of things, hasn't moved up in the UFC welterweight rankings, which to me is surprising. I believe he was still number 10 pre-fight, and from what I saw yesterday, and this has been updated, he's still at number 10 in the welterweight rankings. So, a little disappointing for him, I'd imagine. But if he fights for Jorge Masvidal, gets a win, that'll shoot him up into the top 6, top 5, I'm sure. But this welterweight, the welterweight top 10, bar probably the lightweight division, is the best division in the UFC currently. And it just shows you, maybe a 165 pound division, you get 5 and 5 from the 165 and 170 pound division. Going into that, then you really open up a new can of worms for a new division. Now Danny Roberts also came out unsuccessful fight night at UFC London against Claudio Silva, who did get a submission victory after a verbal or alleged verbal tap out from Danny Roberts. Now post fight, Danny Roberts was very unhappy, he was very sad. He was looking to probably go on and win this fight by unanimous victory, and this was technically the most beautiful fight to watch. The submission attempts that Claudio Silva was putting in, the jiu-jitsu on show in the transitions, and it was just a beautiful fight to watch. There's a lot of people that just like knockouts and see striking, but you really see some technical displays in jiu-jitsu and on the ground, and it was beautiful to watch. Now, again, Danny Roberts was, other than Darren Till, I think the only unsuccessful British fighter on there, and he had a claim. Whether he didn't tap in an orthodox way, it looks like he was in an armbar and he picked up Claudio Silva, threw him on his back, and it was where he claimed to have verbally tapped. Now, whether that was just a shout in pain, I haven't seen any post-fight whether he broke his arm or anything in what was quite a heavy throw. Going with your arm extended, planting someone in the mat is pretty painful, depending on what position you put it in, of course. So yes, UFC London was a success. We had our first ever English women's winner in Molly McCann, so well done Molly McCann for winning that. And the British MMA scene at the moment is on top. We have MVP and Paul Daley. They're at Bellator. Now, of course, that wasn't the fight it lived up to, whether that's because it was an American crowd rather than a British crowd. We didn't have that animosity that we would have had it been on home soil. Darren Till, again, although he's on 2 losses, he's probably the best fighter we've got at the moment. We've got Joanne Calderwood from Scotland, Molly McCann in the flyweight division 2 now, and of course, although not UK, Conor McGregor is returning. Nathaniel Wood, of course, also got a win in his home city. So yes, let me know what you made of UFC London. Who's going to be fighting next? Is it Masvidal versus Edwards? So we're going to have Askren versus Till, maybe back in England later this year. What does Till need to do to get a win? Does he have to move up? He's certainly not moving down. He's already massive for that 170-pound division. But 185, is that the next stop for him? We've just seen Luke Rockhold go up to 205. So there's a place there for him potentially. Yes, so that is the end of Cage Chat. Drop a like. I'm so sorry it's been a while since I've uploaded. And subscribe to Cage Chat, and I'll see you on Next Opponent.